So hello, and thank you for joining us for the club room of today's Popcorn with a Program for Pima Online and Distance Education. I'm Jennifer Wellborn. I am part of the student life team here at Pima Community College. And just as a reminder, we do have an opportunity for you to get an extra entry to win prizes. We do have our best bowl / container, something you could use to hold popcorn. And so if you have something like this is my coffee mug, tea mug, but I could eat popcorn out of it, and that you want to enter into the contest, just let me know. Or you can do a really cool Zoom background that has popcorn in it. There's lots of ways you can get creative with that contest. So we want to let you know the best way to connect with our clubs and organizations. I'm going to go ahead and start off by sharing my screen. And we just launched it this fall semester, a brand new platform for our clubs. It's a great way for you to connect with other students, learn about all sorts of different opportunities for events and involvement during your time here at Pima. And that's called Pima Engage. I'll drop the link in the chat for you in a moment, but I'm going to take you out to the site right now just to show you kind of what it looks like. You will log in using your same MyPima login. I'm already logged in. So when you first get into the site, you'll see some different announcements. If you're members of certain organizations, you'll see those listed there. There are our list of upcoming events. Hey, look, Popcorn with a Program. That's what we're at right now, as well as news articles and helpful links. This is where you're going to go to find different clubs and events and opportunities. So I always recommend that people bookmark this page so they can find it easily. We have the link shared in a number of places on the website and things like that, but for me, it always helps me to have a bookmark. So this is a really great way for you to not only learn about the clubs and events that there are opportunities for, but also, just finding other students to connect with outside of your classes. So we are going to have presentations from some of our clubs that are related to our online programs that are available. But the great news is most, if not all of our clubs have a virtual or hybrid component. So you can join them no matter where you are. And so definitely check out that Engage website to find out about those different opportunities. But I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to our business club. And we are joined by both the club president and advisor today to tell us a little more.
Yes, thank you so much, Jennifer. My name is Danielle Ostrop, and I am the club president of the Pima Business Club this fall semester. So our mission as a club is to provide all Pima business and accounting program students with opportunities to network with business professionals, as well as fellow like-minded Pima business students. We also really want our members to help them with gaining professional and personal development, as well as help students transition into their either their educational or career paths. So becoming a member with our club has many benefits, some of which include volunteer opportunities, networking opportunities, as well as really important resources to help students transition into Eller if they choose to transfer there. So we have club advisors that we work with over at Eller who provide really great information and really good insight on the Eller professional admissions process. We also have representatives from ASU and NAU present to our students too. And so on top of that, we also really have an array of diverse guest speakers this semester from different industries like healthcare, technology, entrepreneurship, and also local business owners, which is really exciting. They really provide some great information and key insights onto their industry and what they do as a business professional. Some fun things about our club is we did win we also won Outstanding Club of the Year for this 2020-21 school year season. So that was really exciting. And like we said, our meetings are virtual this semester. So we meet via Google Meet from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Mondays. So again, some really great things. Javier, would you like to include anything?
Thank you, Danielle. You pretty much covered it all. And again, as an extension of the activities that we participate in the Pima Business Club, as you mentioned, every Monday from 5 to 6 p.m. on Google Meet, we get to experience firsthand by interacting with business leaders and industry captains about what it takes to be successful as an entrepreneur. And you have basically a direct link with Q&A with these individuals who can share all this wealth of experience in terms of, what you need to actually launch a small business. So it's also about transferring to, say, Aller, NAU, and ASU, but it's complemented by having this interaction, this exchange with business leaders here in the community, as well as in the public sector, who can guide you in terms of what you need to be successful and the skills required in today's fast evolving global economy. So we invite you to join us and learn more about business trends as well as industry trends by asking these individuals in the community, in that environment, these questions that will only enhance your understanding as you go through your business program. So we hope to see you in our next meeting. Danielle?
Thank you, Javier. Again, you said everything wonderfully and really capped everything that we really hope to achieve as a club and provide our members. Jennifer went ahead and put our links and email in there if you have any questions or would like to check out and register to be a member with us this semester. So we hope to see you guys there. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Danielle and Javier. Lots of great opportunities with our Pima Business Club. I'm going to turn it over to our advisor for our Creative Writing Club, Frankie, to tell us a little bit more about that opportunity.
Hi everyone, I'm Frankie Rollins. I teach creative writing and honors at Pima Community College, and I'm a publishing author myself. Our other advisor for this club is Julia Guseva, who, if you go to Amazon.com, you can see has like 14 books. So we are both very engaged in the act of writing, and the Creative Writing Club has a president, Kirsten Cope, who is really engaged in the act of writing also, and has taken many creative writing classes with Pima, and is a very excited and energetic presence in the club. So we have many creative writing courses online through Pima Online, as well as traditional ones, but you don't have to be in a creative writing course to join the club. It is open to anybody who writes, whether you write fiction or nonfiction or poetry. We have time during the club sessions to generate new writing, as well as give each other feedback on writing that you've already done. You know, during the pandemic, a lot of people have had more opportunities to do some writing, maybe found themselves writing through experiences. And so we would urge you to join us if you're interested in figuring out how to craft some of those things into publishable works. Also, I just wanted to note we have it's open to literary writers as well as fan fiction writers, sci-fi, horror, romance, you name it, we're open to it. There's still officer openings, which would look great on a resume or looks great for scholarships to participate in a club like Creative Writing Club, whether you're an English major or another major. We also, in our club right now, we have students in biology majors and psychology majors, and there's even a chemistry major joining our club. So just know it is across the board. Anybody can write. And many authors in the world have different jobs and also their writing career. Like I have an obvious I teach creative writing and I am a creative writer myself, but you know, there's always room for writing in all the different ways you live your life. So you can join us through Pima Engage, finding the Creative Writing Club. It's under T, not C. And I wanted to share also, I'm the faculty advisor for Sanskrit Art and Literary Magazine, which is a Pima student-run, student-filled literary magazine. This is our call for submissions, which opens October 1st. And one of the things you can do in the club is offer a piece that you are wanting to submit to Sanskrit and get some feedback on it. The Sanskrit magazine also needs students for the spring semester. It's called Writing 162, the class that you would take, and those students become the editors of the magazine. We did oops, I got frozen. We did have to move digitally after 28 years of publishing print magazines. We had to move into the digital arena in 2020. And so now I'm going to show you that digital format. Let's see, does this work? Whoops, sorry about that. Can you see this magazine? Yes? Can you see it, Jennifer?
Yes.
Oh, great, thank you. So when you open this up, you can see the magazine. You can turn the pages here, just like a regular magazine. And it's pretty incredible. So that's the editorial board. Those are all students who've taken the class. And then if you, and all of the artwork you see is made by Pima students. So it's an incredible magazine put together, mixing the writing and the artwork of students from Pima Community College. So I'm going to put those links in the chat. We also have a Discord server where you can post work or get in touch. One of the things about creative writers is that a lot of the work we do is very solitary, but you need a community and you need readers. And so this is the Creative Writing Club is a very natural way to find those readers and to make community and find people who are doing similar work that you are doing in the world. Make sure, I think that's all I have for today, but please join us. Everyone is welcome.
Lots of great opportunities for anyone interested in writing or who have artwork or photography for the Sanskrit program. So I am going to hand it off to Paul, who is joining us from our PCC Super Users Club to share a little bit about what it is that they do.
Well, currently we are building our data center. We are creating the thing that is the club. So this is a really good opportunity to get a perspective of like how something as elaborate as a data center, how all of these moving parts can come together. And we need people who don't think that they have any comfort with this because they have the most to learn, and we really need a perspective, somebody that isn't just someone like myself that has stored a bunch of factoids, but someone who can work with the community or who can work with other students. The allure of cybersecurity is not quite what it seems, because it's very relevant to all businesses and to all interests right now. It's just been given a very fancy idea. There's definitely a lot that could be there's definitely a lot of people with a lot to offer who don't feel like they belong in here, and I feel like everybody does belong in here. There needs to be, we would really benefit from a wider variety of people, and we would benefit from more questions and more people asking why and how, because we don't really know as much as we think we do. And the people that come in with some of the most basic questions that they're afraid are stupid are revealing to all of us, and they help us better understand what we're doing. I actually forgot the question. I apologize.
I'm just going to share your, I shared already in the chat the link to the Super Users Engage, Pima Engage page, but I'm just going to share it on the screen right now. You have bi-weekly meetings on Saturdays?
We have meetings every Saturday, but every other meeting, yes, we have biweekly official meetings, which we keep minutes on, but every other Saturday we have fun. We do things like capture the flag, open source. Capture the flag is they're challenges. Generally, they're more of like a hacking perspective, but sometimes they're just information because there's just a tremendous amount of information out there. How much information can we find out? We'll take a volunteer. I think Noah is coming up next, where we're just with the information available on his Discord, we find just the disturbing amount of information about him and create more awareness, but also, learn how to make better use of information out there, be more conscious of the information that we put out there. And we hope that puts people in the workforce, or just in general, that are more conscious of what they're broadcasting and what can be received. Anybody is free to join a meeting, and we find that Saturday at 5 tends to work pretty well for a whole swath of people. It's also perfectly welcome to come drop in at our data center or our mobile range on East Campus. If the light's on and somebody's willing to talk to you and show you things and let you play with stuff. We have just a tremendous amount of interesting things, which reminds me of my submission for a bowl is a cover to a 3D printer. It's just for the record.
I mean, I think that'd be a pretty cool bowl to eat out of. It's a fun color. I mean, anything that can hold popcorn is a bowl, right? I think that works.
There's some slightly toxic stuff in there, but I won't worry too much about it.
Well, maybe line it with something before you put the popcorn in then. And so question about super users, Pima faculty and staff are able to join you all as well.
I don't see why not. Yes.
And that goes for the majority of our clubs as well, that they are open to not only staff and faculty, but community members. Typically, those folks don't get to run for office or vote in any sort of club business, but they can participate in club activities and events and things like that. And so the main way to join a club is to get on Pima Engage and find out all the different opportunities that we have. We also have new clubs forming all the time. So each of these clubs was new at some point. With creative writing was new within the past couple of years. PCC super users just got started last spring. They're kind of a new iteration of an old club called IT Club, and Business Club at some point in time was also a new club. They've been around the whole time I've been at Pima, so I don't know what year they started, but we have the option for people to start a club. So one of my interests outside of Pima is I am a quilter. So maybe if I wanted to see if other students were interested in starting a quilting club, I could do that. And so we in Student Life can walk you through the process to start up a new club. And with Pima Engage, it actually makes kind of all those different steps a lot easier than they were before. Basically, everything that's on Pima Engage used to be paper forms and paper flyers for events and things like that. And now they're all digital and virtual. And you can if you're up at 3 a.m., you can scroll through the website. You can get to it anytime you want. It's not restricted to what time an office might be open. So definitely check out Pima Engage. A lot of our clubs do volunteer activities in our community as well. They bring in guest speakers. So there's a lot of great opportunities through our clubs, and they're going to enrich your time as a Pima student, as well as open up opportunities for you beyond your time at Pima. So you might be able to make connections to a future employer or connect with one of our transfer partners to continue, your onto a bachelor's degree, master's degree, PhD, who knows? So there's lots of great opportunities for all of our clubs. Anything that anybody else wants to share, add?
If I may interject a little bit, Danielle, we do also obviously network with a lot of employers, like we mentioned before, and business owners. And some of our business partners through the business department actually have on occasion some internship opportunities, which is a great way to segue into possibly a full-time position. And we've had very much a lot of success in that regard. So that's another opportunity with the Pima Business Club, is through our business partners, the possibility, and there are some opportunities for internships.
I actually had a question for Paul. I was just wondering, what is it like on your Saturday meeting? If I showed up, what happens? Do you start with a plan, or are there questions? Or I was just wondering what it's like.
On our meetings, we generally just discuss what's going on, and we try to get. It can be unpredictable because sometimes things are a bit chaotic, and we're just trying to iron out the cross wires. But other times, it's just purely entertaining. I mean, we have a lot of the similar interests, and it's a nice time to. It gives a good idea how we're doing things. I think if you listen, you might it seem a bit like incessant shop talk at times, but it's not very formal. It's a very decentralized a club, so there's plenty of room to randomly interject or to quietly absorb things. There's not a lot of pressure to behave in a particular way, and there's a lot. But the off weeks for the meetings, I think, are generally just fun overall, and they can be really insightful. And even if you don't want to go down the particular rabbit hole, the results are interesting, and you can ask questions all nonstop the whole time, and there's a lot of willingness to explain things. Nobody's questions are stupid.
I think you just coined a term that is true of all the clubs: incessant shop talk. That's basically the whole joy of it.
It's remarkable how much easier it is to stay on task here than it is at work, where it matters and they could fire you. I forget. We were working we had a connectivity problem with our mobile data range all day yesterday. I forgot to eat lunch, and I'm usually watching the clock when the first opportunity I can get away from things are. It's very involving, and I enjoy it a lot. I've done the club a disservice because I'm probably the worst person to do this particular act. So I promise it's better than I present it.
Well, I think you've done a great job of presenting the opportunities of your club. And, it's a great way for students who are interested, but maybe aren't ready to take the leap into taking a class in that area, or declaring that as their major to get a feel for what that field is really like. So that's another great opportunity for our clubs. Is it's a way to get your feet wet and see if that's really something that you maybe want to do as your career, or even just, get a certificate or, something like that to complement what you're already studying. So there's lots of great opportunities here. And the great thing is, you don't have to be in any of these academic programs to participate. We do have a few clubs that, like our nursing club or our dental hygiene club, that you do have to already be in that program. But the majority of our clubs are wide open to anyone who wants to participate. So get connected, join a club. And lots of great volunteer opportunities and things like that as well. So that's another great aspect of Pima Engage, is you can learn about those different opportunities to participate in those events and activities that you don't necessarily have to fully commit to being, president of a club or something to do, but you can come to as an individual.
Exactly. And I challenge anyone to find a program in which cybersecurity and IT isn't relevant. I mean, unless you're an Amish assistant or something, you're not doing any job without dealing with technology, networking, and security.
Yeah, it's definitely a big part of everyone's life these days. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap us up. And